Okay, it's part of the Tori Goho, which is the 5 fundamental grabs, which is part of the Kihon Happo. We have different movements in the Kihon Happo. This is one type of grab response. There's an inner response. There are mushas and musodoris. It really depends on where the person's grabbing you. If Mr. Stump is here,
Sir.
If he grabs my lapel, the center of my body, it's very easy to get wrist locks in. It's very hard to get arm locks on the center. If he grabs on this outer triangle, think of a triangle here, if he's grabbing out here, much harder to get wrist locks and much easier to get arm bars and things. So the reason I'm going to choose a wrist lock today is where he grabs. Omote can work with a cross grab. It can work with a same side grab. It can work with a lapel grab. It works beautifully with a one-handed choke, pressing. Yeah, that works nice. Of course, it can work with 2. Not so much from a punch. If he punches me, it ain't going to happen. You don't want to get in the habit, which I've seen some people, where they punch and they just freeze and they leave it here. Now this is fine if you want to teach, but it's not real. A good fighter is going to hit and pull back immediately and be strong, so it's not going to work. If I try to grab you, pull back, see, now I'm in trouble. So we need to know, if he was in full plate armor, 50 pounds of armor, look how he's standing, he knows, and I'm in armor, his attack is very old, is very different. So for him to reach in and punch me, he will look slow and linear because he's in armor. No one I know in a bar starts here and fights. It's all like this. It's very modern. It's this distance. So tonight we're working on a classical kata that may not work so well in the modern street. I had to put that up front, okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to show you, if we have time, we may not, 7 different variations. And then what happens if it breaks down? We're going to go quickly. Let's start with the very most basic version. Here's what I don't want to see tonight. Here's what I don't want to see. If he grabs my lapel, I do not want to see this action. What is wrong with me taking his hand toward his shoulder and his center line?
It won't affect him as much.
Be louder.
It won't affect him as much.
It's not affecting his posture and spine, is it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I see martial arts do this. Why isn't it working? Why isn't my uke falling for me? He's supposed to fall for me and help, right? No.
You have to push it out more.
Yeah, it's the angles. Now, when he grabs again, the difference between that and me moving into this position, see how I'm moving him? See how he's off balance?
Yes, sir.
Keeping him off balance here and then applying the lock here is very different. The key, I think, to this particular wrist twist is to keep your feet moving. Once I stop, he wins. It's not going to work. There are exceptions, okay?
Yes, sir.
So the first thing you're going to work on is how to peel this free. If he grabs your lapel, I want you to work on peeling this free. All you do is you put your thumb on the back of his hand, grab his meat, grab your other lapel with your right hand, and I'm going to pull this violently this direction where his fingers are less likely to hold. Now I have this position. I want you to practice severally. Just stand here and practice ripping this free and keeping his palm toward him. Again, he grabs 1, footwork, yanking this free. Pulling as I separate this way. Grabs with his other hand, same idea this way. Keep your elbows low, don't raise them. Again, he grabs here, just pull it free. Okay?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's one way of practicing. Go.
Yes, sir.
Pull him off balance. I'm becoming the center of the technique. So if you watch, I'm pulling him off balance to apply the lock. It's cool. This is a good one because it relies on my body catching him versus just my hands. Who thinks this can happen? I missed. Highly likely. This is less likely to miss. It's like a praying mantis catching with your wing or something. That's good. Better. Problem is now we're kind of close. So there's an advantage to it. So instead of this, where I can miss, I'm just going to shift from this position. Now I'm going to do this tenkan turn. See how he goes off balance? From there, I'll apply the lock where I need to. Again, with energy. Yo! Pull! Snap right there. And believe me, he'll go down. Ray, if you come over. If I stop, if he grabs and I stop here, he'll pull me back. Yo, there it is. We'll address that in a minute, but slow motion. 1. Rotate on the axis. Break his elbow. Keep moving your feet. Go. If you plant your feet, I'm using muscle, right? Muscle. It can work. It can work. This can work. However, if you get older, you lose muscle, you lose speed. This will work, right? It does work, but you
Yes,
feel
sir.
tension in my hands.
Yes, sir.
It's about footwork. Tai sabaki. 0 muscle. I did not put 1 ounce of muscle. When I have his hand here, it's not this. Pressure, watch. It's angles, it's geometry. It is not strength. Let him give you the strength. He grabbed his angles, let him give you the strength. I just move. I don't fight Ray at all. Ray fights himself. Punch comes in, he's mad. I just let him move to where he needs to be. Understand?
Yes, sir.
Now, let's add one more thing. If you get to this position and you're worried about that, risk, meaning can fail, risk a one-handed movement and then add a strike here. You all right?
Yes, sir.
Add a hit. You're going to need it. One more.
Yes, sir.
So as he grabs, add from here, hapaken, shuto, boshi, elbow. I think it's more realistic. I think this is less likely. This is better. As I hit, his energy is going down, then I can move him to position, okay?
Yes, sir.
Last thing you can do is when he grabs, is say I get to here. As I move, rather than attack his torso, I'll punch or I'll hit his hand full speed to break it. It's going to shatter that bone quick. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Add those chops in.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. One more, I grab him, I'm attacking him. Here's the biggest problem. Someone will pull free, so expect that, expect the technique to fail. Now I'm doing that on purpose just to show it can break down and fail. So from here, know that someone could pull this free perhaps. That's why we don't stop. Another thing is if it's linear here, he has not put a shield up. Don't move, I can hit him squarely in the face. If he takes my hand over here more, he's now created a shield where I can't hit him as easily because my arm's in front of me. Watch the difference. Do a straight version, Ryan. Just pull me straight back. Don't move. Easy, right? Now take my hand. this way. Very hard for me to reach him going across my arm. So when you do this properly, as I peel from the gi, I do not stand here. Watch my footwork. I move over here. See the difference?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm increasing the distance and I'm crossing the arm across his face. Harder for him to hit me with his left hand. This is huge. I see this all the time in schools. This is incorrect. Ryan, can you hit me?
Sir.
Hit me again. Much different. See? Now from here, I'm going to put pressure and I'm going to back up this way. So a millisecond in time as he hits, I'm going to move, press here, and circle behind him to break his wrist. That's what makes it work. Watch again. As he grabs, I move, pull, press, and break his wrist here. Once they're on the ground, you just kick him in the face, pull this back to shatter his elbow, or continue the pressure. A little slower.
Sir.
This is wrong. Bang! Here. He loses pulling power too. The second I'm here, I'm going to press that sucker and enter his space here. And then just crank this, keep it close to your body.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I did go far away from Ryan. I did go out for a second. Then, in this case, I want to re-enter the space. I don't want to do this. I want to re-enter that space. Crowd him. Do you understand?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Try that, please.
Yes, sir.
In a fight is not quite as practical as you think. A lot can go wrong here. So we need to add some ninjutsu to it. First of all, when you're being grabbed, don't do this. When I'm being grabbed, I want to move with him to catch his energy. He's already off balance. When you get to this position here, a couple things we can do. As I'm entering, I'm going to hit him with an elbow to the face. Got to add this atemi striking. I could also headbutt him in the face. That's going to keep his mind busy. This ain't going to work. So you got to add dirty fighting. I can also move here, and as I enter, I'll kick, then move into it. I think the best one out of those three is an elbow.
Yes, sir.
If you notice my movement when I'm here, look at this right elbow. It just fits beautifully there to snap his face. And in real life, when I get to this position, I want to push straight down to shatter his bone. We're kind of being nice here. Hit straight down to that position. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
It's very important. That's a circle version. Let's do a more traditional angle version, 45-degree angle. This is one where, if we switch sides, he grabs, where I do pull him more out. I pull him, I go in a 45-degree angle. Now his balance is not behind his butt over here. So when he grabs me and I move here, I need to go in another 45 left. Watch, this is a different type of movement here. Feel that, Matthias? Now with some energy. One, catching,
Sorry,
moving
Ryan.
here to break that wrist. Zigzagging, not circling. Ryan's here so he can see.
Sir.
Not this. Line. Line. Bad. One. He's off balance. Ichimonji. Ichimonji. No, come on. Understand?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Think of a lightning bolt. Zigzag, zigzag. When would we use this? When they're overextended. In a minute, we'll address when they grab you like this. Changes everything. try it out. A lot of people, let me grab you, is when I come in for a grab or a punch and he takes my balance, right about here, what they're going to do is they're going to pull you close. They're going to defeat the technique with their muscle because they want, when I get pulled, I want to pull him back. That will defeat the technique, so we need to know how to deal with this. So if you grab me, if I get here and he pulls, what do I do from here? What can I do? I can hit, I can immediately abandon and do something. Move right there. This time, as I pull, when he pulls me close, see how I closed in on him? I'm going to leave this, and then I'm just going to enter here to move into kind of an Osoto Gyaku. In other words, go for his center mass. I think this is cool. He pulls back, I just move into position. Now Ryan didn't feel struggled with that, I don't think. I matched his speed. So from here, expect this to happen. If you punch him, he probably won't fall, but it's a nice hit. But watch what I do. As I move, this is going to cut across his center line. See his balance? Yes. Cut across here, hit that leg out, take it down.